All right. Okay.
Hi there, my name is Ron Kern. I'm the local area manager with Lumenis Lasers. I'm going to be here talking about the new Acupulse Duo CO2 lasers. Okay, these lasers emit CO2 energy, and what they'll be doing is they'll be replacing the OmniGuide CO2 lasers. So again, similar to the OmniGuide, this is a fiber-based laser. So the laser will be delivering the energy via a flexible fiber. As with any CO2 laser, very important again to have laser safety signs outside the door highlighting the wavelength of CO2, 10,600 nanometers. Also important to have CO2 laser goggles on everyone within the nominal hazard zone, which is generally considered the operating room. Again, that are rated to protect against 10,600 nanometers. Important to have as well fire extinguisher as well. Oh, a little louder. Okay, and then also wet tongue depressor to test out the integrity of the laser and the aiming beam as well. Okay. To turn on this laser, there is no key needed in order to unlock it or start it or turn it on. All there is just an on-off button here on top of the laser. As you can see, it is that green on and off button. And then on top of that is a emergency stop button. So at any time in the case, if you need to quickly stop the laser, you can push that down to stop it. But again, to turn it on, you just push the button down. And then once you turn it on, the green button illuminates, letting you know that the laser will be turning on. Okay? While it starts up, it's going to go through some internal self-checks and turning and powering. I'll take you through the back of the laser. Here is what houses the foot pedal. Okay? There are two prongs that extend out and latch onto these two holes that hold the foot pedal. So again, this laser will be operated via this foot pedal as it's pushed down. You have your outlet plug right here. Okay, so you always want to make sure that that is properly secured into the outlet so the laser powers on. This is the plug here for the foot pedal. Okay, so again, from time to time to make sure that is properly secured into its outlet. And then here you have the interlock key. Okay, really no reason to remove this, but it's just a safety mechanism that if this were to be removed, you can actually turn on the laser, but you cannot actually engage the laser or turn it into ready mode when it's ready to fire. So it's always good to have that, keep that engaged as well. Okay. And then lastly, I'm sorry, you have the circuit breaker too. So for whatever reason you're trying to turn on the laser from that green button up top and it's not turning on, you always want to make sure that at least the circuit breaker is turned on and out of the off position. Okay. Once you start it up, you'll see it comes to a password type screen where you have to hit a login. The login is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then login. It'll be the same for both of these lasers. So again, there are two lasers here at Hopkins, two Acupulses. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hit login, and then it's going to go through some more self-tests and calibration. Okay, takes a few minutes as it runs through its self-checking. The important thing to note that this laser again, while replacing the OmniGuide lasers, will be delivering the energy via this flexible fiber port. Okay, so the fibers that will be attached to this will be the fiber lace single-use fibers, mainly for ENT, laryngology type cases, as well as otology cases in which the operator may want to use CO2 via the oto lace fiber. So we'll come back to this here shortly. You'll see there is the main home screen. Okay, so these are the fiber lace single-use fibers. They come in white box packaging and obviously are packaged sterile. This is one that's a demo fiber that's used for in services such as these. Okay, they have a little blue cap here that says, oops, sorry, that does say fiber lace CO2 fiber on it. So again, these will be the single-use fibers used with the Acupulse Duo. So as we get to the main treatment screen, because these will be used just for fiber delivery, we select fiber treatment, and then this takes you to the main treatment screen where you'll be able to select the different parameters based on what the operator is trying to target and accomplish during the case. You'll also notice, very important, that when you hit fiber treatment, you'll see this blue LED light up. Okay, this is letting you know that the energy
will be delivered when the operator pushes down the pedal through this fiber port, okay? There's also an energy delivery via this arm I won't talk about here if you want to attach it to a microscope, but again, because this laser will predominantly be used for fiber, you just want to make sure that that blue LED light is lit up, letting you know that that is the mode that is chosen for the case, okay? So again, you have your main treatment screen. Starting from the top right, you have your aiming beam adjustment, okay? So one thing you'll notice that's different from the Omni guides is you'll have an aiming beam capability with this fiber, okay? It always has that the max capacity, but you can toggle that down if the operator prefers, okay? So actually, why don't I show you the aiming beam now? We'll go back to the fiber port. So you see this threading here in the fiber port, okay? And there's threading here inside this little cap on the fiber. So what you do is you just push it down into the threading, and then again, as with anything, righty-tighty, and we tighten this down as far as we can. Now you'll notice again, there's that aiming beam that comes out. Okay, so that's a good indication that you've connected the fiber properly. And then what you'll see on the main treatment screen here, on the top right, you'll see the fiber lace icon is now present and highlighted. Okay, now it is highlighted in red. Again, as I mentioned, this is a demo fiber, okay, that's already been used, so I cannot technically use this fiber during treatment. It's not going to allow me to arm the laser and fire in your energy because this fiber's already been used. When you have a regular single-use fiber that hasn't been used yet, this icon will be highlighted in blue, but you'll still see that fiber lace icon letting you know that it is connected. Okay. Going to the left, again, it lets you know that fiber is selected. You'll see this little wheel here of different selections. You have CW, Superpulse, and Pulsar. CW stands for continuous wave. Again, so what that is a waveform in which that'll deliver a little bit more charring and hemostatic qualities to the tissue. Superpulse is a higher peak waveform that delivers more of a cutting type effect to the tissue, and a pulsar is a mix between the cut and the coagulative effect of continuous wave. Most of the time the operator will use either continuous wave if they're trying to get, again, that charring hemostatic effect, superpulse if they're trying to excise or cut tissue, right? It also, in the bottom of the wheel here, you'll see 3 different settings, and this deals with actually more of the foot pedal. Continuous is what's always defaulted, and that means as long as the operator is holding their foot on the foot pedal, it's going to deliver continuous energy until they lift up, okay? Single, and you can toggle this time on, means that if we, let's say if we set it to 0.1 seconds, if the operator, even if they just hold their foot down on the pedal, it's going to lace for 0.1 seconds and then stop, hence the single title there. And then if we went to repeat, you can toggle 2 different things such as the time on and time off, and it defaults to 0.05 seconds time on and 0.01 seconds time off, which means it's going to deliver energy intermittently so long as the operator holds their foot down on the pedal. So for here, if they hold their foot down on the pedal, it's going to deliver energy for 0.05 seconds and then stop for 0.01 seconds and then go back to 0.05 seconds delivery and so forth, so long as the operator has their foot down on the pedal. Okay? So if we go back to continuous, again, that's the mode where as long as the operator is holding down their foot on the pedal, it's going to continue to deliver energy. Then what you'll do is you'll just toggle the power, okay? For laryngology, we're usually working in the 3, 4, 5, 6 watt range. Otology, probably even a lot less. So we're usually working on the lower end of the spectrum for these ENT cases that this will predominantly be used for. The operator, again, will have more of an idea in terms of the amount of power they want to use and whether to go to continuous wave or that superpulse type setting, all right? And then when you're ready to go, you have the standby and ready. Obviously, it defaults to standby. When you're ready to go into deliver energy, you can hit ready. It's not going to let me do that because I have, again, a fiber that's not ready to be used. But after you hit the ready icon, it'll be about a second delivery, and then you'll hear a beep letting you know that the fiber or the laser is armed and it can deliver energy out of that foot pedal when ready. Okay. Some bottom titles here: external airflow will rarely ever need to be selected. Okay, that is if we need to actually use more than 15 watts of power to deliver external air cooling to that fiber, in which we will attach the hose from the air supply here in the operating room to the back of this little nozzle right here. Again, very rarely will this need to be used, if ever, for these type of cases, because we're not going to be delivering that type of energy that will need to cool the fiber. The fiber is naturally cooled by the external air actually that's just around us. Yep. So we don't need any helium tanks to cool this fiber. Again, just by plugging this in and having the laser system cool with the air supply that's around us is more than enough to keep this fiber cooled and safe during use. Okay. There are a few other icons here, not as important. So let's say we have a setting here, we're using 6 watts, and say Dr. Smith likes it at continuous wave, continuous and 6 watts. What we can also do is then hit this floppy drive, floppy disk icon, touch that, and then what we can do is we can say Dr. Smith laryngology, and we can save that setting, and then once we do, we hit save. And what that's going to do then is it's going to save Dr. Smith's setting so that if we go into this file folder icon here, it'll be listed right there. So Dr. SMH, I think I saved something previously from a past in-service. So we can select that. I think it is already selected. And then treatment, and then it's going to go to his selected settings. So that was 4 watts continuous wave. So you have the ability to preset different things if need be, if you have a bunch of different doctors using it, okay? When you're finished, this does not record anything such as overall lasing time or total wattage, okay? So if you need to record different settings, again, you can record either Acupulse, continuous wave, different foot pedal settings, and obviously the total amount of wattage used. But there's no special way to shut this down, right? When you're done with the case, you've recorded everything. You can turn this on, again, or turn this off the same way you turn this on, which is just this button. So you just hit this button down and you'll see the lights turn off and the screen turn off, which means the laser's off, and unscrewing the fiber. And just turn it to the left until it's completely unthreaded. Pull it off. And again, this is single-use fiber. I've seen this generally disposed of in the sharps bag because again, this fiber has a little bit of a sharp tip if you're not careful. So usually in the sharps bag following the case once you're done with the use of this fiber. Again, single-use fibers, so 1 per case. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.